Now, we've seen some crazy fallouts. I mean, who can forget the crazy fallout from Crown Jewel, where Vince McMahon, former CEO of WWE, was stuck in a pissing contest with the Saudi Arabia government or whatever the fuck they got over there over financial disputes, and wrestlers were basically held hostage on the tarmac. Yeah, that's when you're working for one of the biggest companies in the industry. That's what you want. Just in a foreign nation. Not sure if you're gonna live. I'm kidding. But another fallout recently has occurred right after AEW's pay-per-view All Out. And I think it's just fascinating being in the time where when AEW came out, people were tired of WWE and their booking and stuff, and then it was progressively getting just worse after the Wednesday Night Wars, where NXT saw a change, and really it kind of polarized the fans who were there for certain things, but they weren't getting really what they wanted. Then AEW, ooh, shiny new AEW was coming in. You know, this little young upstart with bolstered by former WWE guys, but they got some homegrown talent, and now the tables have turned, and now it's a time where Triple H is in charge, and the booking is just instantly got better. The show's structure, there's a lot more wrestling, less backstage segments, and it's been shown that the fans have been receiving this new direction very well. Me included. He's saving the fucking product! And then right now, blah, blah, blah. All Elite Wrestling has just been having these rumors circulating about backstage chaos and tension, and it just sounds like something out of a documentary on the downfall of WCW. But a lot of it is left to speculation, at least for me, because I don't know if you guys know, but we're talking about modern day wrestling media sites where it's all about the clicks now, especially with the resurgence after AEW came in. There was this war and people were seeing views on, not going to name names, I'm just saying they have a lot of clickbaity titles. A lot of their stuff is anonymous sources this and a guy I know backstage, just take my word for it. So, you know, you can't blame me for not taking their word for it and taking a lot of this news with a grain of salt, because a lot of it gets, you know, just optimized for viewers to just regurgitate and say, you know, talk with their other mark friends and make it seem like they're in the biz. But boy, oh boy, it got fucking wild. I mean, the event was already interesting in a different manner where, the starting had spoilers for the event if you haven't seen it. It just had a weird ending to the ladder match, and I just was like, I'll see what happens. And then, you know, there was a lot of good matches on the pay-per-view. I mean, they had a lot of just great wrestlers just putting on a great show. But the crowd could apparently give little less than 2 fucks because they didn't put the belts on the Acclaimed.
That was freaking good stuff. Acclaimed should hold their heads high. They hung with the AEW World Tag Team Champions right up until the bitter end. Oh, there's Keith Lee.
We still love the Acclaimed! But like, overall, I mean, the Punk and Moxley match was so good. And MJF just returning in stupendous, almost shoot fashion with the video package and stuff that he had. And it just felt like, I mean, I thought it was an alright show, but it all just feels overshadowed now because of what happened directly after the fucking show at the media scrum. Now, I watch these media scrums, and it just kind of amounts most of the time to, you know, Tony Khan patting himself on the back, thanking the fans, thanking his staff, and, you know, the winners just there, you know, touting their win, just talking to the media and setting up for future storylines, you know, giving out, you know, answering questions, whatever. That's really it. It's nothing really special. But this one, this was a little spicier. Just a little bit more seasoning. Now, it's not much of a secret that Punk has been making waves. I mean, he came back right after injury and just kind of cut an unscripted promo of sorts, apparently, and randomly mentioned Hangman Page. But, so obviously somebody, I don't know who the fuck his name was, I just asked this very innocent, simple question about that, and Punk had, he talked about that, among other things.
Hi, Nick House with Wrestling Inc.
I'll start, Nick. Who here fancies themselves as a journalist? You're a journalist, Nick? All
I
right.
try my best.
Okay. You still do improv?
No, not a little bit.
No?
No.
Who'd you do improv with?
I did it with Scott Colton.
Okay, so you fancy yourself a journalist. Would you say you're friends with Scott Colton?
No, I haven't talked to Scott in some time.
So you're not friends with him?
No, Scott and I do not see eye to eye.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes two of us. My point is, if you fancy yourself a journalist,
even if it's for the silly world of professional wrestling,
and you have journalistic integrity, people who report things, mostly that are bullshit, and slanderous lies against myself, if you are friends with somebody, you blew my spot. If you're not friends with them, I apologize.
it's okay. But you should probably disclose who you're friends with.
I haven't had anything to do with Scott Colton in almost a decade. Probably wanted nothing to do with him even longer than that. It's fucking unfortunate that I have to come up here and speak on this when I'm on my time and this is a fucking business. Why I'm a grown-ass adult man and I decide not to be friends with somebody is nobody else's fucking business. My relationship with Scott Colton ended long before I paid all of his bills. I have the email where he says, and I quote, "I agree to go our separate ways. I will get my own lawyer and you do not have to pay anymore." The only reason the public did not see is because when I finally had to countersue him through discovery, we discovered he shared a bank account with his mother. That's a fact. And as soon as we discovered that fact and we subpoenaed old Marcia, he sent the email, "Oh, can we please drop all this?" And the fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs and couldn't fucking manage a target, and they spread lies and bullshit and put into a media that I got somebody fired when I have fuck all to do with him, want nothing to do with him. And the fact that I have to get up here and do this in 2022 is fucking embarrassing. And if y'all are at fault, fuck you. But what did I ever do in this world to deserve an empty-headed fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page to go out on national television and fucking go into business for himself? What did I do, Dave? What did I ever do?
You tell me.
What's your name, sir?
Dominic D'Angelo?
Fuck the Pittsburgh Penguins. What are you doing? There's people who call themselves EVPs that should have fucking known better. This shit was none of their business. I understand sticking up for your fucking friends. I fucking get it. It's a disgrace to this industry. It's a disgrace to this company. Now, we're far beyond apologies. I gave him a fucking chance. It did not get handled, and you saw what I had to do, which is very regrettable, lowering myself to his fucking level. And I will still walk up and down this hallway and say, if you have a fucking problem with me, take it up with me. Let's fucking go. What's your question, Nick? Sorry to keep bringing this fucking up, but I've never spoken his word in I don't know how long, so I'm a little fucking pissed off about it.
That's fine.
I offered him money. He said it was not enough. It's his fucking funeral. I don't care. He shares a bank account with his mother. It
Tells you all you need to know about what kind of character that is.
hurt, and I'm old, and I'm fucking tired, and I work with fucking children.
Look at Tony's face, man. He's going through so many emotions. Now, leaving my own personal opinions out of it, or any opinions at all, you just gotta know this kind of came out of left field. I mean, you just aired it out. And it was about to get wilder. Cause, as Punk left, there was a skirmish backstage between apparently Punk, Ace, and the Elite. And it got a lot of coverage. And it was one of those things, again, where I'm just taking it with a grain of salt because I don't know. But there was a lot of people talking about it. And there was a lot of stuff going on that it was obvious. Tony, I mean, on the next Dynamite, he had to address it. I mean, when you look at the stories, it's just wild. Apparently, Ace got a few punches in. Colt Cabana was at home with his mother looking at their finances. But seriously, it was so bad that Tony Khan just had to address it. There's nothing else you can say. It's just he had to address it. So he did on Wednesday, the next Wednesday at Dynamite. And this is where the nuclear fallout just got more nuclear.
Hi. Thank you for joining us tonight. and welcome to AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS. Following All Out on pay-per-view this past Sunday night, I've been forced to vacate the AEW World Championship, as well as the AEW World Trios Championship.
That's right. Your new world champion, who just returned from injury, was stripped of the title, and the new Trios champion, who also had a top star that just came back from injury, was also stripped of the title. Whatever, then they have matches, and Death Triangle is just Trios champion. So there's that, and there's another tournament that's totally not the interim tournament. It's just another tournament, and Jericho and Bryan get the fucking pass. No, wait, Jericho and Jon Moxley get the fucking pass, and now we gotta see who's going to be the new world champion at Grand Slam. Jesus fucking Christ. So, you know, they have MJF go out and do what he does best, which is, you know, act like an asshole and apparently spit facts.
Last time you guys saw me, I might have said some offensive stuff. I'm just being honest. But I think we can all agree
as the fans pointed out, bro. I mean,
you think I'm not being sincere here in Buffalo, New York? In front of all these grotesque, poor lardasses who have quite possibly the worst football team in the history of the United States of America?
Kind of speechless here. Wow. Go Jets!
Josh Allen sucks!
and this only has bolstered the Wrestling Cheesemate channels. I mean, now just constant, more news, views. They love those sweet clicks. They love those sweet little sponsorships while they're there for Manscaped. And like, let's be real, no one's buying Manscaped. Let's be real. I mean, you got now people piling in to these videos, listening to Dave Meltzer clear his throat 20 fucking times every sentence, trying to, you know, get more of what's happening backstage. What else is fucking up? And it's just, I mean, if AEW doesn't get their shit together, they're going to lose their fan base that they've cultivated in their short time in the industry. I mean, you have a loyal fan base now, and they're suffering because all these fucking backstage mishaps is changing storylines, and now it's not going to make sense. People already had a problem with the interim world titles, and now you have another one, and then you have, you know, just so much going on, and it's only going to affect the product. While you got WWE bringing in Shawn Michaels to a more senior position, so you know he's just going to add more to the table. Let's be real. One of the greatest performers of all time in the biz. DX is saving the fucking product! So, safe to say, AEW has a lot to work on. And only time will tell where this all leads. I mean, me personally, look, let's be real. They're not the idiots who ran WCW into the ground. I have a little bit of hope that they'll just work it out. People need to leave, people are going to leave. People are going to stay, they're going to stay under conditions, and, you know, a lot of talk and stuff, but I'm pretty sure they'll work it out. I mean, seriously, it's not the old days. But don't quote me on that. No, but seriously, they got a few things to work on. And I vote for one of the top priorities is giving, I don't know, the Acclaimed another shot at those fucking belts. On Crown Royalty! On Crown!
Acclaim gonna leave the gun club in a bad way. We got the match in the bag cause it's trash day. No filter, I ain't Instagram. We make the ass boys retire like Vince McMahon.